Hello all of you. I'm Shilpa Ghaisas from Vidyalankar classes mathematics department. I welcome all of you to this special session arranged by Vidyalankar. We are going to arrange a series of lectures on physics, chemistry, mathematics and biology, how to prepare for 12th standard board exams. The students who are going to appear for MHT CET exam, I am talking about especially these students. For them, preparation of board exam is as important as the preparation for MHT CET exam. When you are preparing for MHT CET, your aim is to get maximum score to get into a good engineering college. Now, if you see the syllabus of CET and if you see the paper pattern over the years, you will find that 80%, 75% to 80% questions are straight based on the HSC board textbook, that is the HSC board syllabus. The kind of questions which are asked in subjective manner in the textbook on the similar lines, questions are posed in CET exam in MCQ pattern, multiple choice questions pattern. So if you prepare well for your 12th standard board exam, it will help you immensely in boosting your score in MHT CET examination also. Now the board exam is starting on 21st of February. We are in the end week of the month of November. So still definitely there are 2.5 months available for preparation for the board exam. So in today's session, we will discuss how to prepare systematically for mathematics of the board examination. If you look at the paper pattern of mathematics, you will find it's a 3 hours paper of 80 marks. The paper is divided into 4 sections A, B, C, D. In section A, you find there are 8 multiple choice questions. Each question carries 2 marks, and here when you write the answer, you are not expected to write only A or B or C or D, but suppose the correct option is C, then you will write C, and in front of that C, whatever is the actual answer, that also you are going to write. If you write only C, no marks will be given. If you cancel C and afterwards you write suppose B, then that will not be considered for evaluation. Whatever you write for first time, only that answer is considered for evaluation. And that clear instruction is given in the board question paper also. So these questions, while writing their answer, you are not supposed to show the calculation, but you are going to write the option, whether it is C, and then the answer which is written in the question paper in front of C. You have to write this entire thing. So 8 into 2, 16 marks are for the MCQ kind of questions. Then there are 4 questions which carry 1 mark each, and here you are supposed to write your answer, the solution of the question in brief. The questions are also quite easy because they carry only 1 mark. So these are usually easy questions and they carry total 4 marks. Then when you come to section B, they give you 12 questions. Each question carries 2 marks and you are supposed to write any 8 questions out of it. Okay, so 8 twos are 16 marks are there for section B. And so if you see now, 16 marks are there for multiple choice questions, 4 marks are there for very small or very short type of questions. Then there are 16 marks for very short but 2 marks each question. So 16 plus 16 plus 4, 36 marks are there for not so lengthy questions. So it is not difficult to score in board exams. Then you come to section C. Here each question carries 3 marks. Here again they give you 12 questions and ask you to write any 8 questions out of it. So again here you attempt 8 questions, but as each question carries 3 marks, This section C, it carries 24 marks. And then you came to section D. Here they give you 5, here they give you 8 questions. You have to attempt any 5. And each question carries 4 marks. So 5 4s are 20 marks are there for section D. So this is the structure of your examination paper. Now the general instructions which are given on the board question paper also, that use of log table is allowed, calculator is obviously not allowed, figures to the right they indicate full marks, graph paper is not necessary. Board does not provide also graph paper. You may ask for graph paper only for LPP. But for LPP questions also, it's clearly mentioned that you are expected to draw a rough sketch. Okay. So when we will discuss LPP, I will tell you how to draw that rough sketch also neatly. Though it is rough, it should not be very haphazard. It should be a good presentation. For each MCQ, correct answer must be written along with its alphabet. For example, A and then the answer. Only first attempt will be considered for evaluation. As I said, if you cancel the answer once and write the answer again, no marks will be given for the answer which you have written for the second time. Okay. Start answer to each section on a new page. These instructions are given in the board examination. Here are from the paper structure, whatever we have discussed. MCQ, each MCQ carries 2 marks. Total there are 16 marks. So in section A, MCQs and 1 mark questions, they are compulsory. There is no option. 8 questions are given. It is compulsory to attempt all 8. There is no option given over there. Okay. So section A is entirely compulsory. Sections B, C, D, they give you some options. Like sections B and C, they say attempt any 8 out of 12. And section D says attempt any 5 out of 8. Now, this is a chapter-wise weightage. Mathematical logic is the first topic in Maths Part 1. Considering options, 8 marks paper is set on mathematical logic. Matrices it is 6. Trigonometric functions it is 10. Pair of straight lines 6 and so on. Okay. So here, if you look at Maths 1, you will find trigonometric functions and vectors and line and plane. They are the most important. They carry the maximum marks. But if you see the level of difficulty wise, then logic and matrices as well as LPP, they are the easy topics in Maths 1. Correct? So together they carry 8 plus 6 plus 4. So together they carry 18 marks. Okay. So these simple topics also easy to understand. Problems are also not of very high level of difficulty. If you do these topics well, you will get good marks. In Maths Part 2, you will find maximum weightage is given to indefinite integration, and of course indefinite integration, if you know well, then only you can do well in definite integration, and application of definite integration is entirely based on your knowledge of integration. Okay. Even in differential equations, you will not be able to do the problems unless you know the integration well. So integration is the very, very important topic of Maths Part 2. Probability distribution, binomial distribution, they carry 5 marks each. Differentiation is also not a very difficult topic, because there the straightforward methods are given for different types of problems, and we will see how to tackle those problems. Okay. So this is regarding the weightage given. Now we will see how to prepare for each topic. When I start with mathematical logic, see, conjunction, disjunction, conditional and biconditional. One must know when it is true, when it is false. Okay, so those properties should be fixed in your mind. Then they will give you some statement and they will ask you to simplify, or they will give you a statement and ask you to make a truth table, or they will tell you truth value of this statement is false, then determine the truth values of P, Q, R. Something like this is asked. Okay. Now when you are going to simplify the given statement, you use various laws. You use associative law, distributive law, identity law, complement law, De Morgan's law, etc. You should know the name of each and every law you use, because while simplifying you are expected to write name of law in the right hand side. So you must know names of all these laws. They give you the statements, ask you to write converse, inverse or contrapositive of the given statement. It's a very simple thing. So, and then sometimes they ask you to simplify the circuit by either making the truth table or by using the laws. Okay, so mathematical logic is not a difficult topic at all. It is one of the easiest topic after LPP. So you must try to get full marks, and it is not difficult to prepare mathematical logic at all. Next topic is matrices. Matrices also is one of the less difficult topics. Now in matrices, if you see the what kind of questions are asked, they are of two types. They ask you to find inverse of a matrix. Now you will find in the textbook, they have explained find inverse of a matrix either by adjoint method or by transformation, either row transformation or column transformation. But in board exam, it is always specified that get inverse of matrix A by row transformation or by column transformation or by adjoint method. They always specify the method. So liberty is not given to the students to choose the type. So you must know all these types. Not only that, when they ask you to solve the system of linear equations, they will give you 3 linear equations in 3 variables x, y, z. You have to find the values of x, y, z by writing the equations in the matrix form. It is not a difficult thing, quite simple. But there are again two methods. One is method of inversion, another is method of reduction. You must know both the methods. Get yourself conversant with both the methods. It is important because again, as I said, they specify in the question that use method of inversion or use method of reduction. So if one method is asked and you use the other method, no marks will be given. So you must know both the methods. Okay, and multiplication of matrices obviously one should know, because while doing in the course of calculation you end up doing multiplication of matrices. Next chapter is trigonometric functions. As we saw in maths part 1, this carries 10 marks. Okay, these and vectors, both these chapters carry 10 marks each. Now in trigonometric functions there are many formulae. There is sine rule, cosine rule, projection rule, half angle formulae, Napier's analogies. So all these I have mentioned in the first line. If you do not know these formulae by heart, please write them on a piece of paper, revise them every day. Remembering formulae does not happen overnight. You must revise the formulae every day, and once you know, okay, I have learnt the formulas, I can tell any formula now instantly. Even after that, you should keep on revising, otherwise you may tend to forget the formulae. So revision of formulae is most important in trigonometric functions. Now here they ask you, they will give you a trigonometric function. They will ask you to calculate either the principal solution or a general solution. As I said, again for the general solution, when sine alpha is equal to 0 or when sine alpha is equal to sine x, all these kind of things one should know how to proceed. So all these again are formula based only. Typical question is conversion of Cartesian coordinates to polar coordinates. Very simple question, usually carries 2 marks. So once you know x is r cos theta, y is r sin theta, you can easily get these 2 marks. Then here the majority problems are of the type prove that, left hand side, right hand side is given and prove that. So this you will be able to do only if you know your formulae well. But once you know your formulae well, you can definitely crack these problems. Okay. So that, and find the solution of a triangle. Solution of a triangle means you have to find measure of 3 angles and lengths of 3 sides. That is solution of a triangle. So sometimes problem is asked on that. So again, solution of a triangle, it is very much based on sine rule and cosine rule. And then there are inverse trigonometric functions. Inverse trigonometric functions also, you have to find the principal values, and then there are many problems based on tan inverse x plus tan inverse y. Those kind of problems are there. Next chapter is pair of straight lines. Pair of straight lines is not a very difficult topic at all. Means it is not a very highly demanding. Like trigonometric functions is a demanding topic. There are many formulas. Here there is no such thing. Here sometimes they ask you to form a combined equation, or sometimes they will give you a combined equation and they will ask you to form separate equations. So either ways it is asked. Then there are various conditions given with relation to slopes of 2 lines, and you are asked to form a combined equation. They will tell you about sum of the slopes or product of the slopes. Then there is a formula for angle between 2 lines. That formula you should know, tan theta is equal to 2 into root of s square minus ab upon a plus b. Then depending upon that, depending on the value of s square minus ab, you should be able to judge the nature of lines, whether they are parallel or coincident, or whether the lines are perpendicular. These kind of questions are asked. Then there is a condition for general equation of second degree, which represents a pair of line. Now this you should know. In the determinant form we write, and 1 or 2 values might be missing, p and q, they will ask you to calculate. So this formula one should know. Also by heart the formula for point of intersection of lines. They will give you a combined equation of line. So from that you will be able to find out the values of a, b, c and f, g, h, and that you have to use to find the point of intersection of the line. So that formula must be by heart. Okay. So pair of straight lines is not a difficult topic. Next topic is vectors. Many students are little scared of vectors and 3D geometry, vectors, line and plane. They are scared, but I think if you study systematically, you should be able to get good marks in vectors as well. They ask you to find the vector of a given magnitude, so you should know how to write a unit vector, then how to get a vector of given magnitude. There they ask you what is distance of a point from a plane or from the axis x, y or z, or from xy plane, yz plane, whatever it is. So these are all very typical questions. Then they use the section formula. So section formula, if you by heart, then either they give you the point which divides the line AB in the ratio 2:3. They will give you coordinates of A. They will ask you to find the coordinates of B, or whatever it is. So section formula, if you know, a straight question based on section formula is asked. Similar thing happens with centroid of a triangle. They give you 3 vertices, coordinates of 3 vertices, and ask you to determine centroid, or they will give you coordinates of the centroid, ask you to determine coordinates of one of the vertex. Okay. So this section formula and centroid formula, if you know the formulae well, the questions are very straight. Same is the case for distance of a point from a line. Then there are questions based on direction ratios and direction cosines. If you know the formula, you can deal with these questions easily. In line and plane, you will come across equation of line in vector form and Cartesian form. Okay. And believe me, I have found in the board exam, they simply ask you line passes through this point, it is parallel to this line with these many direction ratios. Write the equation of line in coordinates form or in vector form. Such straight questions are asked. So if you know the basics about this equation of line, you can easily get 2 marks over there. So equation of line they ask when the line is passing through two given points, or line is passing through a point and perpendicular to two given lines or vectors, or it is passing through a point and parallel to the given line. So these are typical cases. If you study them systematically, okay, this one kind I have to solve it this way. Question of this kind I have to solve it this way. If you do it this way, it is easy to score marks. Then there are find coordinates of point of intersection of given lines, distance of a point from a line, distance between two skew lines, distance between two parallel lines. All these are formula based. Know your formulae well, you will get full marks. So questions are quite straight. And then there is equation of a plane. Then various conditions are considered, that plane is passing through the three non-collinear point. This is the most common question. Or plane is passing through the intersection of two planes, or it is passing through a given point and perpendicular to the vector, passing through a given point and direction ratios of whose normal are ABC. Something like that is always given. And distance of point from a plane and angle between line and plane, or angle between two planes. Again, these 7, 8, 9. These are again formula based questions. Okay. So as I suggested you for trigonometric functions, make a list of formulae. Similarly for vectors and 3D geometry, that is vectors, line and plane, make a list of formulae, revise, make one sample example based on this type, one sample example based on this type, one sample example based on this type. Revise that. That will fetch you good marks in exam. Now when it comes to LPP, linear programming, one problem of 4 marks is asked every year, and you are sure to get these 4 full marks in this question. Questions are not at all difficult, okay? And they give you inequality conditions, okay? They have stopped in board exams. No longer the question based on so many, like chemical A is formed by using inputs P and Q. Those kind of questions are no longer asked. They straightforward give you inequalities, that x plus 3y is less than 7, 2x plus 5y is greater than 11, something like that is given. So inequalities are given straight. Based on that, you are expected to write in this tabular form, okay, and draw a neat sketch. Though they say a rough sketch does not mean something has been done in a haphazard manner, okay? It should always be a neat diagram. So make use of scale. All of you have scale with you. So by using a scale, take proper measurement and draw neat diagram, though the graph paper is not provided, okay? And express your all this information in the tabular form, and you know how to solve by finding the point of intersections of the lines, you know the vertices of the feasible region, and then how to go further. When we come to maths part 2, first topic is differentiation. Now differentiation is an easy topic to score, because either they will give you composite functions, inverse trigonometric functions, logarithmic functions, implicit, parametric or higher order derivative. These 6 types are there. There is a definite way to how to handle these kind of problems. You must know derivatives of all the standard functions, okay? Means derivatives of all the trigonometric functions, inverse trigonometric functions, logarithmic functions, exponential functions. Make a list, revise it. So if you know this, you can easily solve these differentiation problems. That's not difficult at all, and a very straightforward questions are asked. Then in application of derivatives, there is a lot of variety. Simplest is find the equations of tangents and normal. Function is given, you know how to take derivative. Dy by dx is your slope of the tangent. Inverse of that is slope of your normal. -1 upon slope of tangent is slope of normal. Correct? So you can easily form the equations of tangents and normal. Then they give you distance traveled. They will give you some equation. Now take first derivative of that distance, will give you velocity. Second derivative will give you acceleration. Your use of physics, your knowledge of physics will be helpful here. Then derivative as a rate measure, that rate at which area is changing or volume is changing. Okay. Then approximate value. If you know this, f of a plus h is approximately equal to f of a plus h, f dash a. Very simple formula to remember, that will give you marks. Then Rolle's theorem and mean value theorem is there, and they typically ask you check the validity of these theorems and at what point in the given range, in the given domain, it is valid. There are increasing and decreasing functions. You have to decide, means you have to take the first derivative f dash x. If it is greater than 0, increasing, less than 0, decreasing. So you should have the concepts of inequality very clear in your mind while dealing with increasing and decreasing functions. Like on both the sides of inequality sign, if you multiply by a same negative number, then inequality sign is reversed. So inequality concept should be clear in mind when you deal with increasing and decreasing functions. Then there is maxima and minima. Always solve these problems by using second derivative test. Then indefinite integration, definite integration and application of definite integration. These are highly demanding topics, especially indefinite integration. You will not be able to crack the problem unless you have practiced several problems. So if you have any fear in mind about integration, the best way to tackle the fear is to solve the integration problems every day. Every day you must solve integration problems till you master the technique of cracking the problem. Okay? There is a big list of formulae for indefinite integration. You have to write down entire list on a piece of paper and revise them every day, because unless you know all the formulae very well, you will not be able to arrive at the answer. So formulae are very, very important, and practicing solving these indefinite integration problems again and again is the only way to solve them successfully in exam. If you know indefinite integration well, you can do definite integration very well. And there are properties of definite integration, and I have found the problems which are asked in board for definite integration, they are mainly based on properties of definite integration. So those problems can be solved easily. Then application of definite integration, that is area under the curve. Not very complex problems are asked. If you know your integration well, you can do this. And one problem is every year asked. If it is a big problem, it will be asked for 4 marks, or sometimes 2 small problems are asked for 2 marks each. Then differential equation. A very typical question is find order and degree of differential equation. And many times it is asked in MCQs for 2 marks. A very simple thing to do. Then find the solution of a differential equation, either the general solution or particular solution. They ask you to form a differential equation, means something like this. They tell you form a differential equation of all the circles having centers on the x-axis or having centers on the y-axis and passing through origin, something like that. Some condition they give. Then while solving the differential equation, either you use the variable separable method or by substitute y is equal to vx. You know, looking at the differential equation, you know what method to use. Then there is a working rule to solve the first order linear equations, that is how to get the integrating factor if and how to do that. Sometimes they ask you only the problem. A problem will come for 2 marks and they will ask you find the integrating factor of the given differential equation. So you should know how to do it. And Based on applications of differential equations, these 4 type of questions are asked, and I have seen every year at least one question is asked on application of differential equation. So these are not very difficult at all. So you should know how to solve these kind of problems. But as I said, like indefinite integration, differential equations also demand practice. Unless you practice, you will not know how to crack the problem easily. Next is probability distribution. Problems are asked on both, that is discrete as well as continuous random variables. Typical problems I have listed, that they ask you to find the probability distribution. How many number of jacks when 2 cards are taken? How many number of heads in 2 tosses of a coin? Number of successes in 2 tosses of a die, and they define the success. These are all very typical problems. Or they give you the probability distribution, calculate expected value. So summation pi xi, you should know. How to get variance. So you should know this formulae. Summation pi xi square divided by n minus x bar the whole square. So these formulae, if you know well, you can easily solve these problems. Binomial distribution is a very simple topic. And if you have done binomial theorems well in 11th standard, it is not difficult to do this binomial distribution at all. And here, very simple problems, like they will give you the value of mean, value of variance, means NP and NPQ is given, calculate P, calculate Q, calculate N. So such problems are asked for 1 or 2 marks, very simple. So it should not be difficult to crack the problems of binomial distribution. Now how Vidyalankar can help you with your preparation. So Vidyalankar, these are the books which are published by Vidyalankar. These are for PCMB subjects, and these books are there for CET. We have covered all the CET question papers from 2004 till 2022. These books are already in the market. Based on CET 2023, a book will come in market within a month's time or even less than that. Okay, this is another book published by Vidyalankar. Here we have given board papers of the 17 board papers we have given from the last 8 to 9 years. We are starting with the crash course in Vidyalankar. Crash course will commence after board exam gets over. Admission for the crash course has already started. The contact details are given over here, and here you find in picture there is Pranav Kute. He was all over Maharashtra number 1, rank 1 in Maharashtra in the 2020 batch, and he got full percentile in all the 3 subjects. Apart from this, Vidyalankar runs the test series, that is for CET, PCM and PCP both, and you will get to solve 10 full-length tests online. We provide the detailed solution, and the structure of question paper is just like the actual CET paper. Other online test series are for JEE Advanced, JEE Main, BITSAT and NEET. So with this, I come to end of my session. Wish you all the best, and you can get back us with any queries anytime. We have given our contact number in these slides. Okay, thank you so much.